morning, everyone. So today is a special day. Here we begin with our leadership sessions. And thank you everyone for joining in today for this session. And let me just brief you, this is Eagle's Glare leadership session that we have started with. So Eagles are known for their leadership skills. It is said that whenever rains come, so every other bird takes shelter at ground. But eagles, they fly high and they go above cloud to save themselves from the storm or from the rain. And that is why eagles are known for their leadership skills and distinct way of handling problems. And even eagles are known for they can take a start, they can make a start at any point of time. They don't require help of anyone. So they are known anytime they are bitten, anytime they go through difficulties in life, but they come up with flying colors. They are known for that. And in this leadership sessions, we have identified such leaders who have shown their expertise in terms of leadership and have gone through various phases in life and have come out of flying colors. So hi everyone, I'm Komal Somani, founder of Happiness Infuser and Chief Happiness Officer at ESDS Software Solution Private Limited. Today, first session that we begin with, India's best organization that I know, where people sacrifice their life with a lot of pride and respect and a lot of happiness. That is the only organization, because of its culture, because of its core values, the way they instill in their leaders, they give up their life with a lot of pride. Yes, you guess it right. It's none other than the Indian Army. And we have our first leader, Colonel Deepak Anand, with us today. Colonel Deepak Anand is the National Head for Technology and Government Sector at ESGS Software Solution Private Limited. He has around total overall 28 years of experience with Indian Army. Colonel Deepak is an alumni of NDA Khadakwasla, and he holds the distinction of standing fourth in the overall national merit list, joining NDA among almost 5 lakh applicants. And he passed out NDA with first rank in Army subjects. He has also commanded a marching contingent on the Rajpath during Republic Day in 1995. Besides being a trained commando, he is also an alumni of IIM Ahmedabad, Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, Institute of Armament Technology, and College of Defense Management. He holds vast experience of operating in the insurgency-affected areas of Northeast and J&K. He commanded his regiment in the insurgency-affected regions of J&K owing to his distinct leadership skills. He has often been handpicked for prestigious assignments demanding troubleshooting. He has been part of various think tanks to evolve the policy documents for the armed forces ICT infrastructure. He has also various prestigious awards and decorations to his credit, and he's one of the recipients of prestigious Plaque of Honor Young Officer. He has also been rewarded with the Chief of Army Staff's Commendation and earlier twice consecutively awarded with the Army Commander's Commendation. Colonel Anand is an avid reader and has been a distinguished speaker at various seminars and forums at the armed forces. His dedication to duty, depth of knowledge, and exemplary personal conduct is inspiring. He's a self-driven professional with unflinching integrity and moral value. I welcome Colonel Anand, an eminent speaker, and it's our honor to have you with us live on Facebook, Colonel Deepak, and thanks for coming live with us to share the insights on leadership skills.
Thank you so much, Komal. Thank you so much for such an elaborate introduction, and so happy to be here. So happy to be here.
So equally our viewers, so we have around 150 people who are watching it live, and so to begin with, Deepak, we would like to know it from you. When did the first thought incepted, incept in your mind that you wanted to join Indian Army? When was the first time you thought you wanted to serve Indian Army?
Komal, that goes way back when I was a student of class 8th and I joined the NCC. And I attended the Republic Day Parade camp that also, back then also. And I was adjudged the best NCC cadet of UP. And I was awarded the governor's gold medal back then. So that's when I decided that I have to and I will join the National Defense Academy.
That's amazing. That's amazing. To all the viewers, let me tell you, we have around 45 minutes where Colonel Deepak Anand would be explaining about the three ethos of Indian Army. And last 15 minutes, we'll have a question and answer session where you can ask any questions that you have to Colonel Deepak Anand, and he'll be available to answer all those questions. So we just begin, with the first question. So Deepak, everyone says we bring nothing and we die with nothing. We are born out of soil and we die out of soil. And the only thing that we can live here, during our life, the way we live is our naam, our name, and we can live our nishan. That's the only thing we can live, and that motivates other generation to live by. So we would like to know it from you that how Indian Army, the three ethos Naam Namak Nishan, are instilled in everyone, and what are the significance that each of the core value carries.
Yeah, Komal, I'm going to talk about this with a story, and this story is very close to my heart. Story begins way back in 1988 when I joined the National Defense Academy. National Defense Academy is known as the cradle of military leadership. And whatever I am today, whatever I have achieved in life today, I owe it to the values instilled in me in the National Defense Academy. Now, way back then, we were a bunch of about 250 odd boys, young lads, selected through rigorous process all across the country, coming from various walks of life. And we were all just about 17, 18 years of age, and full of life, full of joy, full of gusto, wanted to do great things in life. And we joined the National Defense Academy. And incidentally, in that year itself, this famous movie of Amir Khan was released. And it is that Qayamat Se Qayamat Tak. And
Okay.
it had that iconic song, Papa Kehte Hain Bada Naam Karega. You know, that catchphrase, that Papa Kehte Hain Bada Naam Karega, caught the imagination of the entire generation of that era. And we were also smitten. We were also smitten equally by that phase, and we all wanted to do great things, grand things, get our names enshrined in golden letters in that great institution that we were part of. And we all, were all full of enthusiasm. And we went about doing our training. We went about doing our. It's a very rigorous training. The National Defense Academy grills you through and instills the values in you the hard way. There is no soft way. So with me was a very dear friend of mine, Cadet Arvind Vikram Singh. And in short, we used to call him AV. AV came from the military background, and he was the only child of his parents. We were very close. We were very dear friends. We joined the same squadron, and we learned from each other. We played. We grew up together. And AV was a brilliant student. He was amazing, and he had keen desire to learn everything. He was fully involved in everything. And let me just share a picture of his. Okay, I hope you can see the screen, Connie.
Yes, Deepak, we can share it, see the screen right now.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So the boy that you see wearing spectacles is AV, and I'm standing next to him, just about 17, 18 years of age. And the one that you see on the left in military fatigues is me and AV. And in the backdrop, you see the Khadakwasla Lake. That's where we used to go for all our water sports. AV was very keen on learning new things and trying new things. So much of enthu and gusto in life, and wanted to do so many great things. And we all went about our training, passed out of the Indian Military Academy. AV joined his battalion, 2nd Battalion, the Garhwal Rifles, and I joined Corps of Signals. Uh, AV went for his young officer's course. What a brilliant student he was. He stood first there. He topped all his courses. Went for commandos. Uh, Mind you, Komal AV was no John Rambo, but he was a man with nerves of steel. And he stood first there also, and he was adjudged the best commando. And from there on, he went to join his unit, which was deployed in J&K, thick of insurgency, thick of militancy. And it was on the night of 22nd May 1994. AV was in an ambush, and in which he neutralized two dreaded terrorists. One was killed, and the second one he captured alive. That was the bravery of AV in the odd situation. Just a month later, he was leading another operation, chasing few terrorists across the mighty Indus River. And they were crossing the bridge, an improvised bridge across the river. And one of his boys slipped and fell into the river. And AV wasted no time. He was in that split second, he just jumped into the river. Mind you, the difference between courage and cowardice is just that difference of that split second. And that split second, in that he took that decision without thinking, even mindful of his personal safety and security. He jumped into the river to save his buddy. He pulled him out, brought him to the boulders, but it was a pitch dark night, waters were cold, and in that mully, in that confusion, AV lost control. And that night, we lost a brave son, we lost a brave soldier, and a very dear friend. And a great soldier faded away. AV was awarded the Shaurya Chakra for his bravery. He won the highest gallantry award in peacetime. And his parents, his mom died a few years later, and his father, I met him last in 2017. He came for our silver jubilee, and he saw AV in all of us. And last year he passed away and joined the family. So this story, Komal, is what is the embodiment of the ethos, the embodiment of what this nation, this army is made of. It is made of selfless sacrifice. It draws out so many important lessons of leadership, and that's when I come to this core ethos that we are talking about of Naam Namak Nishan. And I feel that just to show you this is the citation of AV available on the honor point. And this is the kind of river flow that AV jumped into in the thick of the night, middle of the night, unmindful of his personal safety. With this, I come to the core ethos of the Indian Army, that is Naam Namak Nishan. And this is where we draw all our leadership lessons. This is where we draw our drive. This is what drives us to do what we do. And I will just elaborate each in a slight more detail. You see, we've heard the names of various war heroes who've become the household names, like Vikram Batra. Everybody remembers that phrase, "Ye dil mange more." Uh, uh, he went back. He went back to those heights. He went back to be part of that operation all over again. What drove him? It is that same thing, Komal, that we were talking about initially. Naam. मेरा नाम, मेरे कंपनी का नाम, मेरी यूनिट का नाम, मेरे गांव का नाम, मेरे देश का नाम. ये वो जज्बा है. ये वो जज्बा है, कोमल, जो इम्पॉसिबल अचीव करने के लिए हमको ड्राइव कर देता है. इम्पॉसिबल अचीव करने के लिए, और to make that supreme sacrifice, to go in the harm's way, lead from the front, and do whatever it takes to achieve what you have to achieve, what your country wants you to do, what is expected of you at that stage. If somebody says that soldiers are not afraid, they are afraid. The soldiers know, the man in the uniform knows what that 7.62 mm or that AK-47 bullet can do to you. He has seen his own friends, colleagues die in front of him. He's seen the blood, he's seen the guts pulling out. So he knows, every soldier knows what is the cost of war. Uh, just to highlight what one of the greatest generals that this country has produced, uh, Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw had to say. He says, if a man says he's not afraid of dying, he's either lying or he's a Gurkha. Okay, so let me just share a very interesting anecdote about this. One of the Gurkha battalion was being considered for conversion into a para battalion. Now, in a para battalion, what you have to do is, like, you all know that people jump from the aircrafts with a parachute. So this was a matter of honor for this unit to get considered for being conversion to a para battalion. The CEO gathered all his unit, all the troops were sitting there, and he asked that, okay, how many of you are, he showed a clip of a movie wherein he was showing a lot of soldiers jumping from the aircraft with a parachute and coming down. So once the clip was over, he asked his unit that, okay, how many of you are willing to get converted to para? And, after a little thought, about 50, 60 of them rose their hands. So this was utter disbelief for the CEO. He says, how can, my unit is so brave and all of that, and he just about 50, 60 want to get converted to para. It was very disheartening for him. He couldn't believe it. So he asked the Subedar Major and the other senior NCOs as to why, what's wrong. So after a little thought, few of them again got up and they all said that हम सब कूदने को तैयार हैं साहब, अगर वो छतरी मिलेगा तो हम सब कूदेगा. So so you can imagine that those 60, 70 guys were ready to jump without even the parachute. So this is the distilled essence of bravery, that courage that comes from. And it is all enshrined in making a name for yourself, doing things which create a magnanimous image, make you do what is expected of you, and you deliver in the face of odds, and you create what a magnanimity is expected of you. So I think that's where that's what enshrines the essence of Naam.
Okay, that's amazing. Good to know how it is instilled in everyone. So the essence, because we always say कि नाम में क्या रखा है, but there is a lot in the name. Yeah.
Yes. These are the guys who made the name for themselves, and their names are there in the institutions written in golden letters. And it's a matter of pride. It's for generations. It's a matter of pride.
That's true. That's true. You can live your name, behind. Yes, you.
Everybody has to die one day. Then you leave a mark.
That's amazing. Yeah. So how about Namak? We have heard about name. So what important significance does Namak carries in the training of Indian Army?
Okay, Namak is used as a metaphor. And what it means is, let me just share a screen with you again. Okay. Now, in the Indian Army, we follow a motto. This motto this is what drives the entire leadership of the Indian Army, starting from the youngest of the officers to the topmost of the general. This motto is written in golden letters in all the academies, all the institutions, be it the NDA, the IMA, or the OTA. And this is the guiding principle. This is the guiding ethos. It is a statement by Lord Chetwood. And I will read it out for you. It says, the safety, honor, and welfare of your country comes first, always and every time. The honor, welfare, and comfort of the men you command come next. Your own ease, comfort, and safety come last, always and every time. So this is the key sentence is the last one. Your own ease, comfort, and safety come last, always and every time. That's the core essence. That's the core, Komal. If we look at the strength of the officers in the Indian Army, about 3.8% of the total strength is the officers' cadre. And when you see the casualties, the death figure, the people who have made supreme sacrifice, that is about 12%. 12% of that
Okay.
comprises the officer cadre. That speaks a lot. That shows the ethos. In the Indian Army, we don't say go and attack. No, it doesn't happen that way. It says follow me. I am your
Oh,
leader. I will lead. I will take the first bullet. I will go the
oh,
harm's way first. I will not make you do things which I can't do myself. I first have to set a personal example and I will lead you. And that is the distilled essence of leadership. Rest everything is jargon. This is the essence. What you can do yourself, that only, and you have to do it first. You have to put yourself in the face of it first. That's where the Indian Army draws its leadership lessons from. I just want to picture certain scenarios for you. When you visualize yourself in those situations, you will be able to, then I will come down to what the lessons, what's the meaning of this metaphor Namak all about. We all know what happened in the Kargil war.
yeah.
It was the Pakis who had come and who had captured certain heights, and and we had to evict them and push them out. So there was this small team led by a young officer, just 23, 24 years old, and he had his four boys with him. And they were climbing up the mountain. They reached the almost towards the top, and they realized that there is a machine gun. A heavy machine gun fire was raining down on them. They were just hiding behind a boulder, and there was no question of they couldn't move an inch. There was no way they could have moved anywhere. And this machine gun was blocking the entire route, not only of theirs, but rest of the operation, rest of the battalions which would have had to be launched. The entire route was blocked. So this young officer realized that there is only one way this weapon can be taken out, and that is something known as the death charge. You die, you know that you're not going to come back from there. That is the death charge. You just charge onto that weapon and you take it out. He, along with his team, there was an havildar with him. He said, "Ki Saab, main jata hu." This young officer pulled his hand down. He says, "No, aap nahi jaoge. Aap parivar wale ho. Aapke biwi bachche hain. I am alone." And this officer, without wasting a second thought, without wasting a second, he just charged onto that weapon. The bullets were piercing through his body, but he reached in the weapon, took out a grenade, threw it in, and took that weapon out. Another scenario. There is a column which is going, JNK again, terrorism infested area, TI ops, counterinsurgency ops. You are leading a column of troops. You are circling around a village, and it is pitch dark night, cold, chill biting, bone biting cold, and there is strong wind breeze blowing, and you suddenly hear a burst of fire. That's all. And thereafter, there is a pin drop silence. The siklaya hua tarika, the training of the army is that whenever you see a bullet, you hear a bullet fired, you dash down and crawl. You run, you drop, and then you crawl. So everybody did that. All the trained soldiers, everybody just dashed, dropped, and crawled. You crawled, you reached. It's absolutely quiet. You can hear your heart pumping. You can hear your heart thumping. You can hear your own breath, and that's all. And you don't know what has happened. You don't know where your boys are, whether they are safe, they are not. What is the situation like? You gather your wits about yourself. You get up. You try and you reach out to your boys, collect them together, and there is another bust again. Again. So in this situation, in this scenario, picture yourself. Imagine you are the leader. You have not only the responsibility of the team with you, you also have an operation with you. You also know that there is a terrorist who's firing at you. You have to carry out that operation, get your guys together, cordon the village, get additional troops. Scenario. Just think of what amount of wits, what amount of leadership traits that you would see in that situation. Another scenario. I will talk about. I will not take the names. I've known these officers. He was commanding a brigade in the northeast, terrorist infested area. He gets a input that few terrorists have entered the village, and all his QRTs and all his troops are already pre-committed somewhere else. So what he has to do is he just musters up whatever is available in the brigade headquarters. Just 2 officers were available and few troops were there. He gathers them together, puts them in a vehicle, and says that, okay, go, there are terrorists there, launch an operation. Just these 8, 10 guys muster up a QRT and go out. And the moment they are about to go out of the brigade headquarters gate, he realizes that it's a trap. He's been double crossed. And this vehicle, the moment it steps out of the gate, it is ambushed, it is fired upon. 2 officers, 5 Jawan lose their life. Imagine what would be going on in the mind of this brigade commander. You know what he did? He vowed upon himself. He took it upon himself. He says, I will not sleep on a bed and I will not come back to my headquarters until I have avenged. I have taken the revenge for this. For 6 months, this commander dashed jungle to jungle, lane to lane, and eventually got them. He took the revenge. And he rose to the highest rank in this Indian army, and I've had the honor of serving with him. Another scenario, 26/11. We all are, those images are still as fresh as yesterday in our minds. We see Azmal Kasab and the likes of him, 10 of them getting inside Mumbai and making a merry hell, killing and shooting people at their free will, as if they are walking in the one of the malls and they're having a field day. They enter the symbols of our nation. They enter the Taj Hotel, the Oberoi's, and they're entering the CST station, killing police, killing civilians, left, right, and center. You feel that sense of helplessness as to what is happening. And then you see on your TV screens the images of guys dressed in black, those NSG Black Cat Commando. What thoughts would have gone into your mind that time? I remember what had gone in my mind. I knew that अब हमारा वक्त आया है, वो हम बताते हैं हम क्या है, अब हमारे लोग आए. So this is, now these guys, the officer who was leading this operation is a dear friend of mine. He was the commanding officer of that unit. This operation has been studied by almost 30 countries globally who are facing terrorism to come and see as to how these guys did. The key challenge in this was that in the hotels, they had to do benign entry, room after room, room after room, room after room.
Yeah.
You see, there are 2 types of room entries that you do. One is a hostile entry, second is a benign entry. In a hostile entry, it is very simple. You just put in a grenade, pump in a magazine, and just walk in and see what is left and collect and clear off. But in a benign entry, you have to be very careful because you don't know. In each room, there is a possibility of there being a terrorist or a tourist, a terrorist and a tourist both. So every room, 1,000 rooms were checked, room after room, room after room, like this. Imagine the stress that would be on the mind of these people. And the moment the NSG had taken over this operation, thereafter, there was no collateral casualty. The only 2 people who lost their life after that were the commandos, Major Unnikrishnan and no commando. That's the ethos. And this officer, this commanding officer of this NSG unit, was present on that site. He was standing there. He was standing there in Taj Hotel, and he got a bullet on his face. And he refused to leave the site. He said, no, I can't leave my boys, until he was forcefully evacuated from there. Thankfully, the doctor reconstructed his face, and he looks as handsome as ever. Very fine guy. So these are the scenarios. Imagine another one. I mean, I can go on and on and on and on, but this one is very, this drills down a very important lesson. It gives a faith, it gives that confidence to every soldier of the Indian Army that if something happens to me, nobody's going to leave me behind. People will sacrifice their lives. They will risk everything to pull me out of there. They will not leave me there to die. Casualty evacuation is what we take so seriously. And I have been personally involved in so many of them. And my hats off to our aviators, the helicopter pilots of the army. They are amazing. They are the real daredevils. They are the ones. I have seen scenarios where it is impossible. You see that place, it is impossible. How can a chopper get in here? They not only get in the chopper, there is no place to land. They will hover on top of a dope, evacuate the casualty, and take him out. So that is the ethos. People risk everything in the line of duty to evacuate our wounded or casualties, so that every soldier tomorrow, when he goes to war, he goes to battle, he knows that he will not be left behind. There will be people, there will be guys of his who will be coming up for him. They will be looking out at his back. They will be there to guard him. They will be there to take him out. So from this, Komal, I again would like to just share a screen and come down to the distilled essence of uh, namak. What namak boils down to. These are the 6 traits what Namak boils down to: loyalty, integrity, commitment, trust, faith, and unflinching devotion to duty. And mind you, these are all binary. They are all binary in traits. There are no shades of this. Either you are a loyal person or you are not. There are no 50 shades in between. You
Okay.
either your integrity is full 100% or it is not there. You are not integral. I believe this, and the Indian Army believes this. These are the distilled essence of that metaphor, which comes down to loyalty, integrity, commitment, trust, faith, and devotion to duty. And each soldier has to have this, because you know that you are the last bastion. You are the last bastion for this nation. The nation depends on you. The nation depends on me. That is the faith each soldier has. And it is not that you will be called upon for duty for only the operations. There are numerous occasions when the chips are down, when there is a child stuck in a bore well, or when there are calamities all over. It's the Indian Army which is called upon to save the day. So it is, that's the essence. That's the essence of this namak. Unless you believe in that power of namak, unless you know that us namak ka karz chana hai, unless you
Yeah.
have that, unless you are that loyal person, unless you have that jazba in you, you will not understand the meaning of namak. So that's what, Komal. This is the essence of namak that I have learned over the.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Because many leaders they think like, what's in it for me, but like, the way you have taught us, like, shared your experience. So it's always like what's in it for my organization, for my team, and then for me. So that's a great learning out of it. Like, okay, how a simple, like, and how leaders have to put themselves first, because that gives a lot of trust, like, yeah, as you said rightly, because everyone knows there would be someone who'll be taking care of me, I won't be left alone. So every leader need to follow this to lead well. Leaders have to lead by example, and they have to be at forefront, like, to yeah. And then everyone follows him blindly because they know my leader is there for me. So that's a wonderful learning out of it, Colonel Deepak. And we move to the third phase and third part of it, third ethos of it, and it's about Nishan, the mark that you live. And the way I read, like, Nishan is like, Tiranga, our flag, like, it is considered to be one of the, like, Nishan. You live your mark that way. So can you request you to elaborate and throw a light on it, like, okay, how Nishan plays a very important role and how it is given in teachings and how it is taught and how people have lived up to it.
Yeah, Komal, you rightly said, Nishan, the symbols of this nation, the national flag, the emblem, your national anthem, they are the Nishans to die for. They are your identity. They are the ones you live for, and they are the ones you do things for. And what I have learned about the significance of Nishan in over the years in the Indian Army, let me just share another screen with you. This is about the story when I was doing the commandos course way back in '93, and the commandos course at the infantry school Belgaum is considered to be one of the toughest course on the face of this earth. And you may have seen a lot of Hollywood movies where they show the Navy SEALs and the Marines do this and that. Uh,
Yeah.
5 Marines came to do the commando course at Infantry School Belgaum, and within next 3-4 days they desired to go back, and they declared this course as inhuman. They said they cannot do this, and they went back. That's the toughness of this course. The design of this course is to break you down, is to take you to the point of breakdown. They crush you physically, they crush you emotionally, they crush you mentally. They put you in a situation where you cannot think logically. You cannot think. Your mind, body does not respond to you, but you are expected to take the right decision. You are expected to do the right things, and you are expected to come out and take the right decisions. So, in while I was doing this course, there were a number of occasions when a lot of people, broke down. I remember very vividly one experience when we were doing this exercise wherein you are dropped in a helicopter way deep inside the jungles, and you have to use the night navigation tool and your compass, and you have to walk 2 days, nights, and raid on a fort, which is Kalandigarh Fort, it is called, and you have to do a raid over there. So while we were doing this exercise, one of the officer who was part of our team, he broke down and he just sat down. He says, "Come what may, I am not moving an inch. आपने मेरा कोर्ट मार्शल करना है, कोर्ट मार्शल कर दो, मैं एक कदम आगे नहीं बढ़ रहा." He refused. He just refused. Now, this is the scenario. You are in the middle of nowhere, and you have nothing nearby, no trace of civilization anywhere in the vicinity. The instructor had a very simple solution to give. He said, "You are behind the enemy lines. One of your boy has been hit by a bullet. You have to carry him along. You cannot leave him behind." So one guy picked up his weapon, the other guy picked up his pack, and the third guy picked him up on his back, and we started walking. And we would have walked just about 100 yards. This guy stepped down. Another 100 yards, he picked up his weapon. Another 100 yards, he took his pack, and he joined the lot, and we carried out and did the exercise. What would have been going on in the minds of this officer? He can't, I can imagine he must have been thinking all this while of his unit. He must have been thinking that he cannot bring ill repute to the organization that he's part of. He has to complete this course, even if he is physically broken. All of us were equally sleep deprived. All of us were equally tired, equally hungry, equally exhausted. So was he. But then he gathered himself. He picked himself again. And what drove him to do that was that faith and allegiance in that unit symbol of his, that Nishan. And when that's what it teaches you. It teaches you to go beyond, take risks, have no fear, do things which are great. And when I hear about, a couple of years back, there was a very animated debate in the TV and all over the media that why should we stand for the national anthem in the movie halls? Why should we salute the national flag? Why should we do that? We are in the era of globalization. We are global citizens. We are this, we are that. I just don't believe in all this. My heart pains to when I hear these statements. You have to believe in this. You have to believe in your nation. That thought of being a global citizen and all that is all bunkum. It is nothing. When you are in difficult situations on foreign lands, it's your country which comes to your rescue. Look at in COVID-19. We sent aircraft all over the world to get our citizens back home. When our citizens are stuck in the stricken-driven nations where there are trouble happening, we send aircraft to evacuate them from there. It's your country which will come to your rescue. It's your country which will stand by you. You have to stand by it. You have to respect the very symbols of this nation. You have to respect those nishan. Now, those nishan could be anything. It can, on a larger platform, it is your national flag, it's your national anthem. On smaller this thing, it could be an Indian Army symbol or my very unit ka nishan. So you have to have faith in that nishan. And if you have that faith, if you do have that power of belief, and if you believe in what you believe, and you believe in that power of belief, I'm telling you, magic happens. Impossible things are achieved. At this point, I want to share a screen, Komal. This is what I think of how it associates with us, how it links with us at ESDS. When I link ESDS back, Naam Namak Nishan back to ESDS, I want our people, our guys, our team to have that jaspa, have that josh, believe in something, believe in that power of belief, believe in your leader, believe in the direction and the path that he's showing you. He's showing you the right path, have faith in it. And the day we start having belief, the day we start taking ourselves as the brand ambassadors, the day we associate our name with the name of ESDS, I'm telling you, impossibles will be achieved. Each one of us becomes the brand ambassador of the company. We will do the right things. We will be, the thoughts in our minds will always be that my actions, my deeds reflect upon my organization, my company. The symbol, that Nishan that I'm proud of, that Nishan, that family that I'm part of. So my deeds, my actions, my conduct has to be worthy of it. It has to be worthy of what my company stands for. All my actions, all my endeavors have to be in that line. And I'm telling you, the day we start believing in this, the day we start doing this, our support will be truly exuberant. We will be able to achieve impossible. And I'm telling you, the mission 4Bs, mission 4Bs is very much within our reach the day we start believing in this. If the power of belief can make you capture Tiger Hill and Tola Link can happen, a new nation can be carved out in 1971. It was that faith and that power of believing in yourself, in your organization, in that Nishan, and that sense of Naam Namak Nishan is what has driven and has made impossible happen. And at this stage, I just want to share one quote which is I associated with very deeply. Uh, yeah, Alan Thomas. It says, "Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage, rage against the dying of the light." Have that rage in you. Have that, have that courage to fight the dying of the light. And I'm, I firmly believe that if we have faith in these ethos, these lessons of life, impossible. There's a very famous quote that we often use in the army. We often say that difficult we do immediately. It is the impossible which may take some time.
Amazing.
I think these are the essence of Namak Nishan, which I wanted to talk about.
That's a great learning, like how to leave your mark, and very well said. Like, ki whoever had said that, like, we should not stand for national anthem, though we are going global, but not every nation works in the same way. Like, we Indians never attack, like make our first attack on any of the countries, but not all the countries will live up with the same values. So definitely we should have the love and that respect for our nation. We belong to that country, so we have that as an identity. We call it as Indian whenever, like, our nationality. So we should have that respect. And great learning, and got goosebumps like lot many times while speaking about the hardship, like, going out of the way, so that, like, the tiranga jo hai wo lehra raha hai. So Indian armies have proved it n number of times. Salute to the passion, the jazba, and courage, and a lot of respect for them. It's we sleep at night peacefully because wo jaag rahe hai. It's easy to say, but the countless sacrifice that they make, and this are all nothing but the learnings and the core values, and that are instilled in every, like, every single person who joins Indian army. Because even if people don't cooperate, if things are not instilled, so organization will never work in similar way. So it is very important that, like, so the way all the trainings are done and it is instilled, a lot of hard work is done so that everyone becomes a diamond, because only when you go through hard rough patches, or survival of the fittest. So thank you so much for this wonderful session, insights that we have got into Indian Army as an organization, and as an every Indian can associate with, like, Indian Army, this countless sacrifice they do. So thank you for going, like, taking us through this, and with all these three lessons that we have learned from Naam, Namak, and Nishan. So everyone who's viewing this, I request everyone to the session, whatever like learnings you have, let us instill it and try it out, and let's see what difference does it make in our life. And it's time for question and answer session. So can we have our first question? So Deepak, are you ready to answer the questions that we have?
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and I would be very happy to take on the questions. Okay, how do you? There is a question. Yeah.
First question we have is from Mayur Kothavle from Pune. So his question is, how do you differentiate relationship models in army and corporates? As in army, it is more of autocratic, follow the commands, and in corporate, it is of teamwork.
Thank you, Moira, for asking this question. This is often asked, but my experience has been the otherwise. In the army, you cannot complete an operation unless it is a teamwork. It's not. It is a team at the highest level. If the army thinks that it can capture, it can win a war, no. The Air Force has to play its part. The Navy has to play its part, and the diplomacy and the strategy all have to play their part. So coming down to the first part of your question as to the autocratic part, no, Mayur, it doesn't happen that way. When we are discussing and deliberating upon a plan, when we are discussing all the options, every option is considered. Every person is free, absolutely free to give his opinion, share his experiences, because there are lives at stake. It's not if we lose a battle, if we lose a war, there are lives. You can't look into the eyes of that widow. You can't look into the eyes of that boy who lost his father. Why has he become orphan? So the plan has to be absolutely thought through. Every person shares his experience, and these plans are very well deliberated, very well thought about. Every aspect is threadbare discussed. But yes, once we have arrived upon a plan of action, once all the options have been considered and a plan of action has been arrived, and when we walk out of that room of discussion to execute it, then there are no questions asked, then there are no doubts. Then yes, we stick to the plan. We do the course correction, that is done at the highest level, but the plan is cyclosant after that. So that is what is the ethos, that is what we follow.
We have the next question. We have none other than our CHRO, Dr. Chandra Dwivedi. So his question is, what are the top 3 key initiatives and learnings we can immediately implement at ESDS?
Dr. Dwivedi, thank you for asking that question. And I'm telling you, the kind of inspiring leadership Dr. Dwivedi himself is providing is amazing. He himself leads by example. He himself shows the way. And he himself is a role model to emulate. And if I talk about top 3 key initiatives, I think that if we can distill amongst our entire team that spirit of Naam Namak Nishan, associating ourselves with that brand, making my name synonymous to the name of ESDS. Each one of us becoming the brand ambassador of ESDS. We are at the great place to work. I proudly wear this. We are one of the greatest place to work in Asia now. So we are there. We just have to, we are already a diamond. We only have to, refine and take it further so that it becomes a Kohinoor. And those 3 key initiatives, I think it is all, Dr. Dwivedi, if we can follow your example, every one of us can follow your examples of leading by personal example, showing the path, showing with your experience, and imbibe in each one of us the lessons of Naam Namak Nishan. I think we will win the day.
That's amazing reply, revert to the question. So next question, Colonel, we have is from Rajiv Verma, and he's asking how to differentiate between leaders and managers. How would you differentiate who's a manager and who's a leader?
Okay. My differentiation of this is very simple. Whenever you join a company, you get an appointment letter, and that appointment letter says that, okay, system manager, regional sales manager, account manager, finance manager, that manager. Has anybody ever got an appointment letter which says leader?
Never.
So nobody will appoint you as a leader. Nobody will make you a leader. Leader comes from his own being, from his own actions. We have very many examples amongst ourselves. We have young guys who are managers, who are technical managers. But yes, everybody looks upon them as leaders. Why? Because they have taken upon themselves. They do things. They show the path. Leader, you become. Managers are appointed. I
That's
think
amazing reward again, like very well explained. And that definitely comes from the depth of knowledge and experience that you possess. So we have next question from Sandeepan. So his question is, what are the strategic plans we can adopt from army to our organization and personal life?
Okay, Sandeepan has asked a strategic level question. Sandeepan, if I dissect this whole gambit, strategic is at the topmost layer. At the bottommost layer is your tactical plans. Then is your operational plans, and then is the strategy. So I will start from the tactical plans. I will start from the bottommost layer. At the tactical level, if we have to adopt and implement in organization and in personal life, it stems from very simple action. Just three simple actions. Be there at the right time, at the right place, in right dress. At the tactical level, at the daily routine level, if you do that, if you are always present at the right place, at the right time, in right dress, I think you won the tactical level better. And thereafter, at the operational level, whatever is expected of you, when you have reached the right place at the right time in right dress, whatever is expected of you in your daily work, in your daily routine, be very skillful about it. Know everything about it. Know everything that is required to be known. Be positive. Be positive. Be committed to the core. Take it upon yourself that yes, this is my job. This is my me. By doing this, I earn my livelihood. Take pride in that. मेरे घर का चूल्हा इससे जलता है, मेरे बच्चों की फीस इससे जाती है. Have that thing at the back of your mind. Commit, give yourself, give everything that you have in yourself of with whatever experience, whatever knowledge, whatever education you have. Commit absolutely everything. That is your operational level. At tactical level, you have to think beyond. You have to think way beyond. If you ask me, I take life as a test match. It is not a T20 2020 match. It is a test match. In a test match, you have two innings. One inning, first inning, you play. That is your inning. You win. Your success is not your success. It is the success of your parents. Because they made you what you are. Because of your parents, you are successful. Now comes the second inning. The second inning is your children. What you will teach them, what you will inculcate upon them, what education values you will give them, and what they become will be your success. So at the strategic level, I equate life as a test match, not as a T20 match. I think I've answered part of what you were trying to ask.
That's again a commendable one. Next question we have is from Aditya Alok, and Colonel, he's asking what are the military habits we need to adopt in enterprise.
Okay, the most important military habit that you need to adopt in enterprise is discipline. Discipline, the bedrock of every life, every human being has to be disciplined. You have to be disciplined to the core, and whatever that demands are made from discipline. And I am often I start quoting the quote by Piyush. He quotes this very often. He says that the pain of discipline is far lesser than the agony of disappointment. So if you don't want to be disappointed, be disciplined. And that is the one core essence which I would request all ESDSM to follow is discipline.
Okay. So next section we are going to have it from Piyush only. So next leader. Next question we have is from Guna Sekar. So she's asking, like, what made you to, what insisted you to take a role in sales and managing team, and how to face challenges in life?
Very interesting question, Guna. When I look back at my profile and from where I started and what all I have done in life, 32 years to be precise, 32 years of my life, my youth, I have committed to the cause, to the nation, to the armed forces. And I thought to myself that before it is too late, before I lose the energy, let me try things which are different. Let me explore myself. Let me rediscover myself. Let me do things which I am passionate about, I am keen about. Mind you, when I stepped out into the corporate world, I had no idea. I have not sold a pin in my life, and I am doing sales, and I am challenging myself. That's what I'm doing. I'm challenging myself to see what can I do here, what can I achieve. That's what soldierly instincts have instilled in me, to challenge yourself, to face and confront the challenges. So I've taken it upon myself. I'm rediscovering myself. I'm rediscovering the skills. I'm learning from you guys. I'm learning from each one of you, the entire team. I'm learning from Piyush. I'm learning from Dr. Rajiv, Dr. Chandra, Komal. I'm learning from all the leadership team that is there in the organization, and I'm learning from my team, my subordinates. And on the other side of things, it is like I see upon myself that yes, I can make a difference. I can leave a mark here also. I can achieve. I can do things better. I can make a difference, contribute in a positive way. And while I have had the experience of buying things, but yes, what you asked, sales is definitely a very different challenge for me. But yes, I'm up to it. Thank you, Guna. Thank you for asking that question.
We move on to next question and probably last question, because we are doing we want to limit our time frames. So it's from Ajay Kaul, and the question is, what is the main similarity between the battlefield and the corporate world? What lessons of the battlefield can be transferred to the corporate world?
Okay. There is a very stark difference between the battlefield and the corporate world, which I, with my limited experience, I can know of. In the battlefield, at least you know where your enemy is. Here, you don't know.
Amazing.
So, if all your plans, all your actions, all your deeds have to be aligned and construed in with this underlying principle. You have to be up and about. In the battlefield, you draw your battle plans, your strategy, your everything, knowing that yes, you will attack from here, you will do this, you will do that, and you have a whole lot of strategy and everything to play. But mind you, all battle plans, best of the battle plans that you make, they fail with the first confrontation with the enemy. Everything goes for a six. It is at that spur of that moment. At that spur of that moment, what decision, that is where the courage and the bravery and the decision-making skills of the man on ground, that leader on ground, comes to play. Same is applicable in corporate world also. All business plans, all strategy, everything will fail the first contact with the enemy or the market. But the winner is decided who is able to take decisions at the spur of the moment, who is nimble, who is light-footed, who can change plans, change strategies, see an opportunity before it makes itself apparent, and act. Redraw your plans, redraw your actions to take on that opportunity, take on that thing which is just presented itself upon you. It's a fleeting opportunities. It's those fleeting opportunities that you have to be ready for. It's those fleeting things which will just come appear. If you take actions, you grab them, they are yours. If you don't, they'll just fleet away. So that's the similarity and differences between the corporate world and the battlefield, which I have learned.
So, Deepak, like we have experienced many times, we keep on asking people if they have any questions, and we're ready to answer. I have been at various platforms, but there are rarely people have any questions. And here we are here with loads of questions to be answered. So, are you okay answering a couple of more questions? Because
yes, yes, Komal, please.
Okay.
It's a pleasure to.
from Karishma. So she is asking, one of the lessons which Indian Army gives is value of sacrifice, and how can we relate it to our professional life?
Okay, Karishma, I want to set one things in perspective over here. I don't know, maybe I have. The Indian Army teaches the soldier to kill, not to die. You are expected to kill the enemy in the battlefield, not lose your own life. So, when I translate that into your personal life, the value of sacrifice, what you are sacrificing, is through training yourself, to upskilling yourself, that sweat, that extra efforts, that extra time that you put in learning new skills, and rediscovering a better version of you every day, training yourself. This is what is the sacrifices which you would have to balance with your professional and personal life. Like what I said, that you are not expected to die, you are expected to kill. So if you translate that in your personal life, you are expected to kill your woes, kill your troubles, kill your problems, kill your concerns. And what it not, I am not getting into the specifics of what concerns those can be. They can be of varied shade. They can range from your personal affairs to professional to financial to everything. You have to be ready to kill them. You have to take steps, step by step, little step by step, upskilling yourself, gaining strength, improving yourself. This is applicable to across the spectrum for all the issues that could be. And get over them. Overcome those woes which are bothering you, which are creating troubles for you. Those are your enemies. Those are your enemies that you have to win over. Those are the enemies that you have to kill. And lead a better life every next day. Discover a better version of you every next day. Learn a new skill every next day. Challenge yourself every next day. I think I've been able to partly answer what you asked, Krishna.
Yeah. So there is one last request, Colonel Deepak. So they're asking if you have anything apart from this for the students who are just about to come out in the corporate world or maybe joining Indian armies and all. So a last message, like you have something for them.
Okay. I've often been asked this question as to, can we join the Indian Army? Should we join the Indian Army or not? To me, to this, my answers to every individual has been that you have to make your choice. You have to decide for yourself what you want in life. I can promise you this, that if you decide to join the Indian Army, you will have a life that is unparalleled. You will live a life which is unparalleled. No corporate job, nobody can give you that kind of satisfaction. As a young man, you will be able to live your dreams. You will be able to bond well. You will learn the lessons of leadership. You will play the lessons of leadership firsthand. But you have to be mentally prepared for the professional hazards which will come along with this. It's a hard life. It's no easy cakewalks. Whatever you are expected to do is very hard way, is taught to you very hard way, and expected of you to be delivered very hard way. And there are no cushy lives. You will be living away from your families for years. You will miss very important occasions of your children. You will miss the birthdays. You will forget the anniversaries. And I have personally been there have been occasions when for weeks I have been incommunicado. I am not available. There is no way I can communicate. And your better half, your wife, your kids, your family has to be strong, has to be ready to go through all this. But if you make that choice, I can give it to you, you will not regret. You will live every day of your life. You will be proud of what you have done. You will, for life, you will be able to keep your head held high, and you will take pride. I can give you examples of There are very known people. Mahendra Singh Dhoni has joined Territorial Army. So there are those kind of options also available, wherein you can balance your corporate life also, and you can spend about 2 months every year in the Indian Army. I have a friend who is working in the RBI on the international desk. He is also a lieutenant in the army as a part of Territorial Army. And very recently, I heard this news that the government is considering 3 years tour of duty. That will be very interesting. That will be very interesting for all the young guys between the age of 18 to 24. If you decide to challenge yourself, if you decide to live that life for 3 years, and I'm telling you, if you go through this for 3 years, you will be empowered for life. You will be a different man for life, and you will cherish those 3 years all your life. So this is a huge opportunity which government of India is considering. I think it's a very welcome move which is being considered, and that opens up a lot of opportunities for young guys.
Okay. So thank you so much, like Colonel Deepak, for all the insights, invaluable insights you have shared, the way you guided us by sharing the real life stories. It was quite motivating and instilling, like, helps us to instill a few values. Like life without value would lead to nowhere. And we bow down with respect to all the family members of army officers, like, or army people who serve our nation, because they also make a lot of countless sacrifices they make so that we all are safe and we all are happy. So going down on respect to all of them. And thank you for being here, sharing all the insights with all your expertise. Thank you so much. It was pleasure having you, Deepak.
Thank you so much, Kamal.
And thank you all the viewers. I hope you have enjoyed this session. The quality of questions that were coming in shows the depth of knowledge you all possess, and with great enthusiasm, you have been watching the entire session. That on leadership session on Eagle's Glare, like by none other than Colonel Deepak Anand. Next week, same time, we meet with one next legend of ESDS, none other than Mr. Piyush Somani, the founder of ESDS. So stay tuned, and it was pleasure having you all with us during this session. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you, Deepak.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. And have a great day ahead. Thank you.